All right, I'm live. See if anybody's up this early. If not, I'll just go ahead and share. Ooh, it's so cold. So cold. 51. It's not really that cold, but it feels like it. My hair's in a mess. Got my pajamas on. I've got a little time to relax this morning before our busy day. I got to do some cleaning. I'm having a bonfire for my hubby to celebrate his vision. Hey, Brian. Good morning. You stayed up kind of late and got up early, didn't you? Me too. How goes it, Brian? How goes it? I ain't talked to you in a while about things. That sun is blocking me out, which is probably a good thing. I'm a mess this morning and got myself together. I think I'm going to be completely gray before it's over with. I've been letting that grow out. Not that it matters. I'm just rambling. How's it going? Itching. You want to come up and talk with me? Yeah, I got some time before I have to start cleaning and everything. Phew, I'm about to freeze. I should have done got myself together before I come on here. Oh no. Phew, stomach bug? That's awful. Hey Myra, good morning. Hadn't got to talk to you in a while either. How's it going? I just thought I'd come on and chit chat a little bit this morning while I had time. Anything new happening in your life? Anything going on? Phew, it's cold. Cold. You doing all right? So you doing all right? Good. Good. Forgive me, I still haven't got my package together yet. So that's why I shouldn't say something, because then I feel like I'm under a pressure timeline to get something done. But sure, I've been stretched between these two jobs and just life happening, you know. But I've got that I want to do. Well, Brian, I hope you get to feeling better. I've been turning my heat on too. I hope you get to feeling better. I'm sorry you're feeling sick. Is it like a cold chest thing, or is it stomach bug, or what? You don't have a fever or anything, do you? Or cough? I'm trying to make sure I'm decent. I got my pajama shirt. Oh, okay. Oh, they might be building a pool. Ooh, can't hold. I'm freezing. Fever, stomach. Oh, that sounds awful, Brian. I feel so sorry for you on that. Whew, bless your heart. You must just be laying around. Hope you can at least drink something. Oh, bless your heart. I'm just sitting there staring at y'all, and I just thinking. Well, I do hope you get to feeling better soon. I hate for anybody to be sick, miserable. Well, how are y'all doing spiritually? You know, in your mind, how y'all feeling and doing? Because there's times when everything can be fine outwardly, like your circumstances, everything can be good, but you still might be troubled in your mind, you know, in your heart. How y'all doing in that way, if you want to say, with the Lord? Feeling hopeful? There's times I feel hopeful and full of faith, and there's times I feel downhearted and troubled. Oh, I wish you could be here too. He wouldn't get tired of it. He loves to play. He ain't played in quite some time, and so he don't have the calluses he needs on his fingers. You know, so it hurts when he plays. So last night he was trying to work on getting his fingers ready for tonight because a couple other people's gonna bring their guitar and play. Good morning, Karen. How you doing? Is it a beautiful, bright, shining day over in the UK, or is it cold and rainy? It's going to be a beautiful day here. I'm thankful for it. Well, I'll say it's been about 10 minutes, and yeah, I'm doing okay with God. Still just working. It's a sliding scale every day. I think different, but God is always the same. And let me post the link if anybody wants to come talk, chat, whatever. I thought I'd share just a little bit about my week this week. Don't know that it would be interesting, but in some of the ways that I feel like what the Lord showed me this week or helped me with. Oh, the weather stinks. Man, I hate that for you. Off to the seaside. Does that mean you're going to the beach, staying at the beach or something? I could at least try to be presentable. Looks like I would have thought of that. Well, in case anybody has to leave while I'm sharing, sometimes I get to talking and people leave and I don't even realize it. And I always miss them at the end. So I'm glad I got to see y'all and hear from you. I hope y'all have a good time together, Karen. Is it just you and Freddie going? Staycation. Oh, is this the time you would be going to Florida? I know y'all visit Florida, don't you? Wow. Well, that's a true vacation. I learned that. I think I've been on maybe 2 vacations, true ones, because the true ones are when you don't take the children along, aren't they? Because if you take the children, you're just going to be working. It's just in a different place. You're going to be doing, running, working, calling them down, this, that, and the other. How's your daughter doing, Myra? Okay, doing dishes. All right, go ahead. Don't worry about typing back. I just read that. So I'm glad you guys are here. If you want to say anything, mention anything, whatever, put it in there. I'll try to notice. I just thought I would share a little bit, just share my week with y'all. Next Florida holiday. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I know. And that right there, I'm going to lead into what I was going to start sharing about. Just going to, I don't know. I don't even know why I think somebody would even want to listen to that, me sharing about what happened in my week. I hope that's not vain. The only reason I would think it wouldn't be vain because the Lord has to do with it. And that's the part I want to share, you know, how he's with us in our everyday lives, and just finding that out more and more gives our lives a purpose, I think. Oh, hey, Haley. Okay. Can't wait to hear about that. Expounding on that, what the Lord showed you. That's powerful. And it's heart wrenching at the same time. If anybody has time, I don't. This right here, the reason I want to put that up there, if anybody has time, which I'm sure Brian and some of you will be going anyway, when Haley does her live stream today, she'll be sharing about some scriptures and what the Lord taught her through it. You know, her takeaway, she calls it. And she gave a little piece of it last night, what it's going to be about. And if anybody would like to go listen to that, I want to. I'll be in here cleaning the bathroom and getting ready for this bonfire, but I want to listen. It's like I was telling her, there's some things you can only get by spending time with the Lord. There's understanding that comes only by getting alone, being quiet, maybe reading the scriptures and waiting for the Lord to pop something out to you that he wants to show you more about. And that's kind of what happened to her. And I mean, the rewards and benefits of spending time with the Lord. And what I mean by that is just like you would, like Karen's going to spend time with her husband. They're going to get away together. They're going to enjoy each other's company. And you know, when you first kind of start doing that with the Lord, that's kind of hard to do, ain't it? Because you can't see them, you know? And it even takes time to be confident that you're hearing from them. So it takes a lot of practice of doing that. But you can come to the place where you recognize them all throughout your day. Good morning, hubby. So glad you dropped in. I know hubby's getting ready to start tutoring too. So he's probably just going to listen a little. But yeah, there is. For anybody that hadn't done that, I encourage you to do that. Just, that's what I call it, spending time with the Lord, spending time with Him. All I mean is, I might be doing my cleaning job, I might be driving, whatever, but when I say I'm spending time with Him, I mean my thoughts are towards Him. My mind is on Him. That's what I mean. You know, you can get alone in a room or alone in a park and be just alone, but also really you're alone all the time in your mind, in your head, and you can be, you know, anytime your mind just gets put on Him, that is when you're aware that He exists and that He's watching. And you know, because your mind ain't on that all the time, but sometimes that awareness will come. My hubby didn't even know I posted that. I should have got permission first. I thought about that. I thought about that afterwards, but I didn't think he would care because he didn't even know I was listening, much less recording them. But that was just so sweet to me. I heard him in there playing, and he used to play a lot, but when he lost his vision, he even sold his guitar. And then he got one back, and so it is a blessing that he can read the notes again and play along. But anyway, yeah, that about spending time with the Lord and talking to Him, you know. Y'all, have y'all ever thought about how much faith it takes to talk to someone who you cannot see? You ever thought about that? That's not the easiest thing in the world to do, you know? To tell the Lord all about your troubles and how you're feeling and your pain or your not understanding or whatever, and sit there and just feel like it's silent. I mean, that's happened so many times for me as I practice doing this. But He really is there and He really is listening. And the thing about it is as you do it more, you will become more confident of that. You know, your faith is going to grow just sitting there trying to do that. It's amazing. And I say all that to say that what came to Haley came understanding. It came a insight into what happened on the cross. I'm not going to go into it and give it away, but that's what it was about. Spending time with Him, waiting, practicing, listening, practicing, just building your faith that way. He's going to give insight, understanding, wisdom. That's what He is. That's one of the ways He is. That all those things are His. Good counsel, like good advice, will come to you. It'll come to you an idea of which decision to make or which way to go in this sticky situation. Those are some of the benefits. Some tiny peace of mind will come. I don't know why I'm getting off on that, but y'all doing that will bring life to you. It'll bring life to your situation, no matter what you're going through. It's so amazing. Oh, yeah, no need to be embarrassed. So anyway, and I rejoice when I hear people. That is what I like for people to share with me. That's what I love to hear. Because there might be times in my life that I'm going through, and I don't feel like I'm learning anything new. I don't feel like nothing's changing. It feels like old boring blah day after day, trouble and hard situations going on. And I feel like the Lord's far away from me. But when I hear like Haley come on and say, this is what came to me, that was the Lord sharing a very intimate thing with her. And that encourages my heart because, all right, Lord, you're still alive. You're still working. You're still helping. You're still teaching. It just ain't with me right now. I'm just having to wait a little bit. My faith's having to grow a little. But when I hear other people share what they're learning, that is so encouraging to me. I love it. I love to hear what other people are learning from the Lord. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know who all's here, and I don't know where y'all are at with the Lord. And you might say, well, I don't feel like I'm learning anything from them. And some might say, well, I didn't even know I could learn something from them. You can. You can. You don't have to be no special somebody. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to have any money. You don't have to have everything in your life figured out. You just got to go and by faith talk to somebody that you can't see and learn more and more how real he is and how much he has for you. And do that. Quiet time with his word is so crucial to hear from him. Yes, it is. Yes, we're reading the word and it's going in here in our mind. It's being stored in the memory bank, even though, say if you read 3 scriptures today, just 3 little scriptures, and tomorrow you can't remember what they were, it's still in here. And just at the right time, the Lord will bring it back up to your memory and speak to you. He will speak with his word. He'll recall it. He'll call it back up. You remember when David said, I hide your word in my heart, Lord, so I won't sin against you? Well, you might have read things, and then you might be going about your day, a regular old day, and something comes up and you don't know what to do about it. The Lord will bring something to your mind. Something you've read, some of those scriptures will come back up in your mind. Know that that's the Lord bringing it to your attention. It just didn't come out of nowhere. It's stored in here in your mind and your heart. And the Lord brings it back up to your attention to give you some advice, to give you a way to go, to give you something to think about. Or it might be that, okay, here's an opportunity for you to apply that scripture. It can work like that. Isn't that what happens to you, Haley? So, anyway, what I was going to just share a couple of things about, and I think they're relatable things. That's what I share, is that you might relate it to your life and think about it and maybe notice it, because it's very, very possible, and probably so, that the Lord is working with you and trying to show you things, trying to teach you some things. And maybe sometimes we just don't recognize it, but it's happening. It's happening. And so as I share this, that's what I hope somebody might recognize in their own life, that, was that the Lord working with me? Or was that the Lord coming to me to show me something and I just didn't recognize it? Very well possible. But so this is a little real and a little raw, and it ain't necessarily right or wrong. I'm just sharing how I was feeling. And I was sitting at the kitchen table late at night. It was actually last night. It was last night. Well, I feel like I've kind of had a rough week because of all this I'm going through with my teeth. And I went and had these new teeth made Thursday. They fit a lot better, and I'm actually able to eat a little in them. They're still not going to be my permanent ones, and I'm just getting used to it. And there's a big overbite and just whatever. But at least they don't hurt me to be in my mouth, and at least I can eat a little with them. And anyway, so just been through a lot with that. Work, cleaning, so hard on my physical body. Just been, I don't know, a lot happening this week. And I was sitting there at the table, it was last night, and I was just I was reflecting, I was thinking about some things that had happened over the week. And I don't know, it just, things that was coming up to my mind were in ways I have messed up this week, in ways I have failed. Now, I know we have to be very careful about that because the enemy can use that against us to make us feel like we're a no good nobody. But for me, where I'm at in my walk with the Lord, I do sit still and let those things come to my mind, reflect upon where I saw myself acting selfishly. I thought about an instance that happened this week, and I thought, yeah, it was kind of selfish of me. And then I thought about it, the realization came that my daughter is about to turn 15 this month. She's my last child in the house. And I thought in 5 years she'll be 20. And then this just sadness came over me. It might make me cry now. I don't know that. In just a very few short years, she's going to be gone. And I started feeling like a bad mom. Yep, it's gonna make me cry. Just that. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Like I said, that's what it is, Haley. That's what was happening. And I just felt like a bad mom. God, I'm so sorry. I know y'all didn't come on here to say this. But like I said, I'm just sharing about my real life. So it happens. Men, please don't be scared. This happens. Women do. My boys and my husband can't stand it when I cry. It just frustrates them, really. But it's a normal thing for a woman to get emotional. But yeah, I just started thinking, I wish I'd spend more time, you know. I woke up crying this morning. So y'all please forgive me. I don't know what's wrong with me. My husband knows. He's waking me up, and I was just crying. But anyway, I was just feeling a little down. And two, I was thinking about just like Haley said, examining my heart. That's what I definitely would call it. Just letting things resurface that happened throughout the week. It was just all kind of coming at me at once. And this was last night. And like I said, I don't know. Y'all might not have this happen to you, and that's okay if you don't. I'm just kind of sharing what was happening with me, if that's all right. And I was just thinking about back on a couple of instances where I was thinking down on people. Like, didn't mean to, but I did. Like I was just, I don't know, I was forming an opinion about someone I had watched online, forming an opinion about them, and I have no clue about that person and what they're going through. I made a decision based on a few minutes of listening to them, and I knew that wasn't right of me, and I felt bad about it. And Then I thought about something that happened this week where I worried my husband. You know, we got in a little argument. That happens. Anyway, just these things were coming up. I'm just being honest, just letting y'all in my heart for a minute. And anyway, so all that was happening, and I was just in one of those ways was, oh Lord, I still have so far to go, you know, because for me, as I walked along with the Lord some years, I have a burning desire in me for a few things. They just have come there. Like, I don't know how, I guess just by walking with the Lord and getting to know Him more. It's made me have these great desires to be a person that doesn't harm anybody. You know, that's what I want. I don't want to harm anybody by what I say, or, you know, make them feel bad, or hurt their feelings or whatever. I don't want to harm anybody in the things I say, or even in the things I think. When you're thinking bad thoughts about people or stuff like that. Does that make sense? So I don't want to harm anybody, and I have a great desire to be innocent one day. Innocent. Yeah, I have some, honey. I'm fine. I'm sorry. What's wrong with me?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I hope I'm doing right by talking like this. I was trying to share.
I know. Absolutely nothing's wrong with you.
Thank you, honey. Sorry, y'all. Please forgive me. I'm not sad. I'm just emotional. Um, but this is how I was feeling. I have a desire to be blameless before the Lord. And so many times I know I'm not, and it bothers me. But I know that that is my hope. And one day I will be that way. One day I will be blameless and innocent. Innocent, y'all. That's how one day we will be. No more troubles, no more pain, no more sorrow, no more grief, no more guilt. Blameless and innocent and not harming anyone, you know? And anyway, that's my hope. But I'm still here on this earth in this body, and I find myself not that way many times, and it brings a godly sorrow to me. Not too much to overwhelm me, but I'm just kind of sharing. So I was sitting there at that table like this, in this kind of condition, just feeling little and small. And anyway, my husband, I recorded that little video where he was playing guitar. Yeah, thank you for understanding. And I heard him, and I walked in there and recorded it. And he was just, he had some music on, and I just walked in there. And see, normally back when he couldn't see, I could walk in there with tears streaming down my face, and he never knew it. And I forget sometimes that now he can see that. And so I just, what happened was, and this is what I wanted to get to, was the Lord, I was sitting there in that way, right? Just feeling down and just feeling like just having a desire to be so much more innocent or so much more like the Lord, but finding myself not. And I walked in there in my husband's room in the office there, and he was listening to music, playing guitar and stuff. And he was sitting there, and he had his attention on the computer. Thank you, Brian. And this is what I wanted to share. Maybe somebody don't realize this happens to you, but I know from experience that this is the Lord comforting me. What happened was when I walked in there, I don't think I had tears on my face at that point, but I walked in there and I can't remember what I said. Oh, I just said to my husband, I said, I'm just feeling insecure. And he immediately stopped what he was doing and stood up and kind of embraced me for a hug. And I laid my head on his shoulder. And I had my head laid on his shoulder with my eyes closed, just resting there a minute. And a song was on. And it was a beautiful song. Can't tell you the name of it. It's one he's trying to learn to play, and it was playing. And he started singing it real low, right in my ear. And the words were something like, I'll be right here with you every step of the way, through the rain, something like that. And y'all, as I closed my eyes there, I could hear the Lord singing to me. He's just so good like that. It wasn't my husband's voice. I don't know how to explain it. It was my husband's voice, but I knew it was the Lord comforting me through my husband. Does that make sense? It was just like the Lord was letting me know how I felt. And that my heart was heavy. And that I had a desire to be more like him, but I found myself failing in it. Like we can sometimes. And just when I had my head laid on his shoulder and he had his arms around me and was singing so softly in my ear, and it just happened to be that song and those words, it was just like, it was just what I needed to hear, you know? And I had my eyes closed. I could just imagine, the Lord holding me for a minute and the Lord comforting me and reminding me of his promises. That he'll finish what he started in me. That he understands where I'm at. And he cares. Anyway, y'all. I'm so sorry. I do not know what's wrong with me. And I've got all slobber in my mouth from crying and this big plastic piece in my mouth. I don't know how to work them. So if you can't understand me, maybe I should get a drink. I'm sorry. I have a point to this, and I didn't know I was going to start crying by sharing about it. My cold coffee. So my point is, sure, I think I'm all right now. That looks awful. My point is, sometimes I used to not recognize. Some years ago, when I went and laid my head on my husband's shoulder, and I felt that his arms around me and singing just the words I needed to hear, I would have looked at my husband and just loved him even more, which I do. But I wouldn't have recognized that that was the Lord comforting me through my husband. And I wouldn't recognize when say, a friend spoke to me and gave me the just encouragement I needed. How you can confide in a friend, maybe on the phone, and you might be sharing all your troubles and stuff, and that friend might just speak right to your heart and encourage you. You got to go? Okay, honey. I love you too. I'll see you in a little bit. Hey, Tiffy. Good morning. Just got a little emotional. I was sharing about some things and didn't mean to. It's just got me crying. But anyway, that's what I want to say, that I recognize more and more is any good thing that happens to me, a good word of encouragement, uh, somebody forgave me. Maybe I was ill with them, and maybe that person was like, oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anything good that comes to me through people, I realize now that is the Lord working through people. Like He's the one that sent me the encouragement. It just might have come out of Brian's mouth. Like Brian said something and it encouraged me. I see the Lord in so many more ways now, through working through people to bless me, help me, encourage me, maybe correct me, just whatever. And I recognized the Lord last night comforting me because I needed to be comforted. And I don't know how y'all see that or feel about it, but I bring it up that maybe you could think about it, you know? That the Lord is the one who's meeting our needs and answering our prayers. And the way He works so many times is through people to help you and bless you. Or, there's been times when my husband lost his vision. We didn't have the money. We lost both of our cars. We didn't have any money. I mean, our power was going to be turned off, so many things. And this couple they knew about it. Not many people had known what we were going through. It was early on when Mark lost his vision. And this couple pulled into our driveway and brought $1,000 and some dollars, a gift card to Food Line for groceries. Over the course of the next month or two, the church that couple went to, people took turns and brought us warm home cooked meals every 3 days a week to our door and delivered it. And though I was so thankful for those people and I asked the Lord to bless them, I knew it was the Lord sending us help. He sent us money. Though it came through a person, it was the Lord. He knew we needed help. He knew the situation we were in, and He was blessing us, helping us, encouraging us, comforting us, meeting our financial needs, but it came through people. And some years ago, y'all, I would never thought that was the Lord. I would have thought it's just nice people. And I would have sung their praises to high heaven, which I am so thankful still. But now I realize it is the Lord, because He said, the Bible tells us He's the giver of all good things. And so anything good that comes to my life, even if it came through a person or whatever, I realize that it's the Lord meeting a need, encouraging me, like last night, comforting me because I needed some comfort. Just whatever, you know? Yeah, He does. Excuse me. And so that is the one little thing I was going to share about. And two, the other thing I was going to kind of share about that happened with me, like I said, I learned from the Lord this week. Just some things I was thinking about was that, like I said, I was sitting there at that table and all these things were coming up into my mind of how I felt like I failed this week, how I felt like I didn't do right, or I found myself in a way I didn't want to be. Y'all ever feel that? and you can become disappointed or discouraged with yourself, feel like, well, the Lord, he's probably so displeased with me that why even try? Or how you feel like that sometimes. Um, this is what the Lord kind of showed me that I wanted to share with y'all that maybe you could think about if you hadn't, is that in that moment when all those things where I'd messed up this week, or things I'd said I shouldn't have, or attitudes I had and I shouldn't have been that way, or whatever, when you got those things on your mind, you kind of shy away from the Lord because he's just so good and holy and righteous that you don't feel like you can come near him with your mistakes and mess ups. But what the Lord showed me was, no, he wants that too. He wants to hear about that from your mouth. He wants us to present that to him too. That is a sacrifice. That's what he showed me. That is a sacrifice unto him. That, so many times we think all we can give to the Lord is everything we can do right and our goodness, or when we did right, or we did good, or when we went about the day and we read our Bible and we prayed and we just feel like we did everything right. But there are times when we realize who we are, and we realize that we're in need of a Savior, and we realize that we still mess up. The Lord wants that too. That is also a sacrifice unto him. That is presenting him our weaknesses. That's not trying to hide that or throw that away like it don't count, but also sacrificing unto him a broken heart. That's the scriptures I write down. Giving him also our weaknesses and our failings and our mess ups. Not shying away. Hey there, Sharita. Not hiding it. Not talking to him about it because we're embarrassed or ashamed, or we think that all he wants to see about us is all our good deeds and when we did right, and we think that he don't want to look at us when we're in our wrong and when we're failing or messing up, or when we have bad thoughts, or when we like I had an argument with my husband this week. I don't want to talk to him about that because I didn't do good or I felt like I failed. But that's kind of what the Lord was showing me, is that no, in your mess up, in your failing, when you think you didn't please me and when you think you messed up so bad and you're down on yourself, he showed me that's just humbling you. Yeah, the enemy will try to make you think, oh, you're no good, nobody. The Lord couldn't love you. He's so mad at you. He's so displeased with you. You might as well just give up. Yeah, the enemy, you will have thoughts like that. But the Lord also showed me that those are times of humbling to help us realize that who we really are and how much we do need him to live this godly life. And that in our failings and our mess ups, he still desires us to come and just be honest with him about it and talk to him about it, not hide anything. Learning how to talk with the Lord and be honest with the Lord about everything we find in ourselves. That is the first time I've had anybody come in and say something like that. So I don't, it doesn't bother me. Hey, Angie, but I'm afraid it might bother somebody that's in here. You didn't miss us, Rachel. I still got about an hour. I'm just sharing about, hey, Tim. All right, Angie, you be safe, darling. So if y'all could just not be bothered by that Satan 666, if it cannot bother you and you can just ignore it and overlook it, it ain't gonna bother me, because I'm sharing about how the Lord showed me that when I realize I'm messing up, when I feel like I failed them, when like I said, I felt like I judged somebody, I thought bad about them. And then afterwards, I felt bad about it. I just talked with the Lord about it, because that's what the Lord showed me, is that Misty, I just don't want the side of you that you think is good. I don't just want in whatever ways you think you did good this week. I want all of you. I want those times when you feel like you were a bad person, or when you had an argument with your hubby this week and you didn't speak so kindly to him. I want to hear about that. I want you to pour that out to me too. And when you felt like you were a bad mom this week, and you feel like sometimes, because I was feeling like, and if I start crying again, y'all forgive me, because I woke up crying this morning. And that's what the Lord's showing me, that in our failings, in those times when we feel like we displeased the Lord, when we feel like we're not good enough, it's just humbling us to realize that, yeah, we're not. Yeah, we do mess up. And it really puts us in our place if we'll let it. It humbles us, so we can realize and remember who He is and how good He is and how faithful He is. And so we can see the condition of the human heart and how we are sometimes. But it's not that the Lord does not want us to bring to Him our mess ups and our failings, and when we know we did wrong and all the ways we find ourselves. He wants every bit of us. He wants it all. That's what He showed me. He said, the sacrifice of a broken spirit, a broken, a contrite, a sad, and ashamed, a feeling like I'm no good heart, I will not despise. In Psalm 51:17, that's kind of what one of the scriptures it led me to. That is a sacrifice too unto the Lord. Did you ever think about it? I hadn't really thought about it, but that's what He was showing me. That is also a sacrifice unto the Lord, when you're giving Him all your mess up and all your pain and how you find yourself, that you don't like yourself, and how you feel like you don't measure up to everybody else, and how you can look at other people and think they've got it figured out and they're so much better at this than I am. And, but to give the Lord that is honest and it's truthful and it's humbling, because here we are, our heads down at that time. We're not proud. We're not singing His praises and happy and shouting and dancing at that time, because we messed up. Our head is down. We don't even know if we can look up at Him to ask for forgiveness or to admit when we went wrong. But when our head is down and we're feeling bad about what we did or what we said or how we are in our failings, in our weak condition, in our weaknesses, that's where we're going to find Him strong. We're going to find Him out more. And that is also, too, a sacrifice unto the Lord, to honestly tell Him about all those things that we would not brag about to anybody else. I mean, I got a lot I come on here and share about in the ways I do good, but I'm sharing with you today in the ways that I do bad, and when I mess up, and when I think I'm not a good mom, and when I judge somebody and thought I was better. All these things happening this week. When I was harsh with my husband, all these things too, the Lord wants us to come and present before him, because we're in a humbled state. We're like this. But it is also offering our bodies a living sacrifice to give that part of us to him too. Does that make sense? And we're going to find out more when we do that, how great he is in understanding. The Bible tells us over and over, and we read it and it sounds good and we believe it. But when it comes down to your real life, in your hard time, when you've messed up, when you feel like you're nobody, that is the time to get to know for real that he understands your condition. He understands what you're going through. He knows you're trying to please him. He knows you want to be different. He knows that you don't like the way you are right now, but what can we do but to be honest about it and tell him about it and pour it out and test and find out, won't he still be there when we open our eyes and look back up? He's still there. He didn't go anywhere. What do y'all think? And he was just showing me that is too a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice of a broken spirit and a contrite heart. And y'all, for the Woken Dream, there's a couple of trolls, trolls. I've never had one, my first time. If y'all can overlook and it won't offend you, then please just overlook. I ain't worried about them. Greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. We have to apply that and believe it and watch it. But I don't want anybody to be offended or get hurt. So y'all let me know. I wouldn't even know how to kick one out if not. But if there is a real person behind those words, those ignorant words, just because you don't know yet that there is somebody that is great and knows your heart, and that he loves you and cares about you, and just because you don't want to stand and be honest about who you are, that don't mean that he don't exist. And that's who we're talking about today. So you're welcome to listen. And I pray the Lord would pierce not only your heart, but anybody's heart, y'all, that a sacrifice unto the Lord is not just your good. It's not just what we can do right. What did he say about our gifts, our sacrifices unto him? What did he say about the best way we can find ourselves? Didn't he say that it's filthy compared? See, we got to see him more clean. We got to see him more high and lifted up than any of our good deeds. He is so far beyond. He said, you know what, y'all? I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. Everything's mine. Everything was created by me, for me, through me. And the only reason you exist today in this world is because in me, you're moving and living and having your being. So if you're failing and if you're messing up and if you don't like who you are and if you think you got to hide that from other people because if they knew, they wouldn't accept you. You do not have to hide before the Lord, because it is in him that you're striving. It's in him that you're having your being and that you exist today. And it's in him that you're even failing and messing up. That's what he was showing me. In him, safe. You're safe in him to be who you are, you mess up, you're failing, you're struggling, you're wrestling, you're not liking who you are, or your good things. I responded kindly. I did good. I prayed for my enemy. Yes, that's pleasing unto the Lord, but he's showing me that, you know what, Misty? Also, your broken and contrite spirit and your broken heart and your wishing you could be better is pleasing unto me. Don't hide that from me. Bring it to me. That's what he's showing me. Hey, Angie, you working out at the gym? I'm sorry I was kind of going on and not looking, but that's what he's showing me, that he accepts us. He don't just accept us when we did everything right. He accepts us in our human condition when we're messing up and failing and feel so down and out and feel so like a bad mom, like a bad wife I felt this week. Like I felt like I was so full of pride in some ways this week. But the Lord wants to hear about it. He wants us to be honest about it. And he accepts that too. He doesn't throw that away. It's a part of you. It's a part of this beautiful transformation that he is doing in us. And all of it counts and all of it matters. And it's really just a way of humbling. Like he showed me, Misty, when you messed up and when you thought this, that, and the other and everything, it was just, didn't it humble you? It did. Didn't you realize that, you're not so high and mighty? Didn't you realize that you still got a lot of learning to do? Didn't you realize that there's still some things in your heart that I need to work on? And it did. And it humbled me. And I thank you for humbling me, Lord. Because I don't even know really how to humble myself. No, I really don't. But I thank you that you have enough power and care and kindness to humble us and to make us come face to face with who we are and our weaknesses and our failings. But also where sin does abound, there much more grace does abound. What a beautiful opportunity to learn about who he is as far as all abounding grace and mercy and compassion for us is when we're messing up and failing and feeling like we ain't gonna make it and feeling like we're just not who we want to be. So that's the thing he was showing me. You just don't have to hide that. Don't think the good things you do and the right things you do is what all you have to offer me, but offer me everything, Missy. Give me everything about you. Give me everything. Give me your doubt when you don't understand, when you feel like you messed up. Give it to me, every bit of it, all of it. I want it all. I want every bit of you. I knit you together in your mother's womb. I created you and I knew you before you ever came into existence. Before the foundation of the world, you still existed in my heart and mind. I knew when you were coming to this earth, and I have seen your end and your beginning. I hold all the days of your life in my hand. Do not hide anything from me. Do not run away from me. Do not think that it's when you're doing good and right is the only time that I'm pleased with you. He's showing me, don't you know I am pleased when you realize you can't do this? Don't you know it pleases me when the wisdom comes that, you need me to do this? You need me to do this. I need you, Lord, to make a right decision. I need you to be kind to that. I need you to give mercy to that hard person, because that's another way I felt like I failed. I failed this week. You know the person that when they call your phone, you go, oh, I just don't want to answer it. Y'all ever have somebody in your life like that? I got a couple. Is hubby starting to work or somebody had to leave? Yeah. Well, thank you for coming, hubby. And thank you for letting the Lord work through you last night. He really did, even if you don't realize it. So I got a couple people, and it ain't none of y'all, so don't worry. It ain't. And the couple of the people that might call my phone or when they talk, it's just abrasive to my ears. I can't hardly stand to listen. But it's a test for me. It's a thing the Lord is working on in me to learn how to not favor one over the other, to learn how to accept that person in their flawed, weak condition. And he's trying to teach me, stretching me on it. And anyway, I felt like I failed because I got off the phone real quick. I didn't want to pay him no attention. I didn't think about it. I didn't really care about what they said. And I felt bad about it, afterward. And anyway, that's just what I'm saying. All of it. A broken and contrite spirit is also a sacrifice unto the Lord. That's what he's showing me. That it's not just the Misty who thinks she did good or was able to do right, and the Misty that just reads her Bible and prays and talks about godly things, but he also loves the Misty that knows that everything ain't quite right and knows that she still messes up and knows that I can't hold a candle next to him. He also loves that part of me. And he's also faithful to complete the work he started in me and you. And he was just showing me, also be honest and truthful about those things, that side of you that's you don't quite like, you know. He said, it just brings a little bit more meaning to that Psalm 145:18 that says, the Lord is near to all who call on him, in truth. It's just in whichever way you find yourself, to be honest with them. Good, bad, and ugly. Just be honest. Whatever you find in yourself that you don't like, your failings, your messings up, whine. I'm trying to read what Angie's saying. I have the ones that whine and talk about the same old problems over and over. Oh, yeah. 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 But it's really the Lord showing me about those people, Angie, that it's really practice for me to learn how to be patient with people, to learn how to be compassionate, even though I don't feel very compassionate. I want to say, suck it up, I got problems too. I mean, that's what my flesh wants to do. That's what Missy wants to do. But I know there's a better way and a right way, and it's his way, but I yet don't know how to uphold that way yet. But I think it's practice for us. Oh, Troy, I'm glad. I had to ask him for forgiveness because I actually posted that and didn't even tell him. But I knew he wouldn't care. I heard him singing and playing guitar, and I was just enjoying watching him, and I recorded it for my journal because this whole channel is my journal, you know. And I tell you, if I were to share the things that I have private, y'all might think, who is this woman? Who is that? Because that's where in those private recordings is where I am me unhindered. It's the good, the bad, the ugly. It's the not knowing. It's the anger. It's everything that I pour out to the Lord. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I need to go get ice. Okay. Love you. Hubby's got to get started working. And anyway, I don't know, y'all. All I know is I thought I'd share that because somebody might can relate to it. Because, eventually you do. I know, we say don't focus on yourself, you have to focus on the Lord, and that's true. But eventually you do have to take a long, hard look at yourself. Eventually you do have to look into the mirror and realize what you look like. I think the scripture that talks about looking into the Word of God is like reflecting in a mirror. By getting to know Him more and seeing Him for who He is more and finding Him out how righteous, how pure, and how holy, then we realize who we are, because that's the standard. It's not the other person that we compare ourselves to. Yeah, they might be doing better than I am. Yeah, they might have more wisdom than I do. Yeah, they might seem more kind than I am, but they are not what we compare with. It is the Lord Jesus Christ, looking at Him face to face, looking into this Word to find out about Him so that we might see how we really are, and letting that come like a dagger and pierce us in the heart so we can be real with ourselves to say, I'm still not like I want to be. I am not you. I'm not. No matter how hard I try or how bad I want to be good, I'm in this earth, I'm in this body, I'm still Misty, and I'm wrestling with it, and I'm struggling with it, Lord, but I want to be better. I want to be more like you. Why? So I can be some good, righteous, bright, shining person in this world? No, Lord, but so that I might learn how to serve other people and love them and lay down my life and be humble and forget about Misty for a while. I'm tired of thinking about myself. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I mean, Lord, help me to just forget about Misty for a while and pay attention to somebody else and care about what they're going through more than what I'm going through. I still find so much selfishness in me, but I couldn't even know that if I weren't walking with the Lord. I wouldn't want to, I couldn't see it. So it's not a bad thing when you start realizing who you are. It's not a bad thing. It humbles us. It puts us in our place, so that we can realize, well, I truly do need a Savior. I truly do need somebody that knows more than I do. I truly need you, Lord. I do. I need you. I can't do this by myself. I can't make myself into be something such as you. I mean, and I get wore out trying. And because sometimes I am trying to do it in my own strength, I think if I do this, that, and the other, and I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I'm going to be good. But, let me just be real about it. I still mess up. I still mess up. I still find myself in ways I don't want to be, but He's showing me more and more. Do not hide that from me, Misty. Do you think I do not know that? Do you think that I know before your tongue forms a word to speak? Don't you know I already know your thought? Don't you know that, Misty? Don't you know I see into the innermost of you, into the heart? I'm looking at your intentions and motives behind everything you do and everything you say. You can't possibly know that. And surely all these people can't know it about you. But I do. So trust me that when that hard circumstance comes, maybe it's just to push on you. Maybe it's just to humble you. Maybe it's just to let you see what I see, and so I can work on it. Stop rebuking everything that comes to you and realize that I am in control. I'm answering your prayer. You just don't realize it. You wanted to be more patient with people, didn't you, Misty? Well, why are you rebuking that hard person that's coming at you to give you practice for it? Why not see that person as a poor, pitiful servant that's coming and serving your growth in me and bringing you an answer to your prayer that you might learn how to be patient with people? Don't you see that as a servant? Don't you know my word that says everything serves my plan? Everything. Everything. And start seeing me in things rather than seeing the enemy all the time and seeing all the bad and all the negative and all the impure. But don't you know that I'm right there? Don't you know that I'm more powerful than any of this? Don't you know I'm working and I'm moving, and that everything the enemy's coming, bringing to you to cause evil, don't you know I'm right there going to turn it for good for you? Let it teach you. Learn, Misty. Let it serve you. Humble yourself. Be desperate. I care more about you being broken and desperate and humble than prideful and thinking that you've got this figured out. There's so much more you need to learn about me. There's so much more you need to know. I have so much to teach you. I care about you, and I care more about your heart and your soul, what goes on forever, than I do about your comfort right now and your pleasure right now. There will be a time for that, but right now there's a time for a great work that I am doing in your heart. Please stop running from me. Please just call out to me. Please just realize that I love you and I care for you. I'm devoted to you. I'm invested to you. And when you're not faithful to me, I'm still faithful to you. What can you really do that's going to please me, Misty? Don't you know that what will please me is for me to come and dwell in you? Don't you know that me in you is what pleases me, that you would let me in? And when you let me in over and over, being honest with me, telling me everything, don't you know that Misty's going to start disappearing a little at a time, and I'm going to be increasing? That's what I want, you know? I don't need you, Lord, to come and make Misty a better Misty. You know? We don't need a better Misty in this world. We need no Misty. We need the Lord Jesus Christ dwelling in more and more people in this world, so somebody else can be helped. These other people are not attracted to our wisdom or our good things. They're attracted to the love of God. They're attracted to the Lord Jesus Christ because he's good and he's kind and he's patient and he's forgiving and he's full of compassion and mercy and grace. And that's what they need. They do not need us. And that is what we need. We need him, you know? So Misty, when you fail, when you find yourself the way you don't want to be and you messed up, stop hiding from me. I already know. I already know this about you. I'm just letting you see it. I'm letting you realize who you are so you might humble yourself and offer me a real sacrifice. The sacrifice of I'm not enough. I can't do it. I'm helpless. I'm desperate, Lord. I need you. That is what I want to hear. That is what I want to hear, Misty. Because your good deeds and your good things and all your good works are as filthy rags to me, because most likely they're rooted in self-ambition and pride and arrogance and all this stuff. When you are broken and when you are desperate and when you've had enough of yourself, then call out to me. I can work with that. I can work with that soft, pliable, broken clay. I can work with it. Because you can't do this. You can't. You ain't got it in you. If you had it in you to fix you, Misty, you'd boast about it. You'd ruin yourself. Just like the old devil. So rejoice in your weakness. Boast in your weakness. Share with these people how you mess up and how you fail and how sometimes you can't stand yourself. Share with these people that. Because then if they see anything good come out of you, they're going to know it was me and not you. You know, I need to be humbled. I'm sorry, but I need to be humbled. I do. I really do. You know, I've come a long way with the Lord. I've walked with him a few years, and I've seen things change that I didn't do. But it's coming to the place where I'm not going to go any further if I can't be humbled. And I need the Lord to humble me. And he is, through my weaknesses, through my messing up and my failing. He's humbling me. You know, I don't want to look at other people and think I'm better than them. And I still do it. And I'm sorry for it. I'm sorry for it. And you know, if people knew sometimes what I'm thinking, I'm ashamed of it. I'm embarrassed of it. I don't have anything to brag about. That's for sure. And forgive me if I ever come on here presenting myself to be somebody. Forgive me for it. I'm just as human as they come. I'm just as human as they come. And the closer I get to him, the clearer I see myself. Because he's light. He's pure and he's holy. And when his pureness and his holiness and his love washes over me, oh God, it needs to wash me every day. I understand how Isaiah could say, I am a man of unclean lips. I understand how when people really saw the Lord, they said, oh God, I'm going to die. I cannot look at you. I understand why the people of, what was it, the Israelites, you know, they said, you go talk to them because I can't stand here and speak. That's how pure and holy and righteous he is. You know, we don't compare. But to think that he would come and dwell within us, even while we're like we are. What an honor. And Lord, please don't let me boast that you would come and dwell within me. How did I do that? What did I do to deserve that? What did I do? What can I do to deserve that? Lord, please. I need help. That's how Paul said, I'm the chief of all sinners. He kept moving closer and closer with the Lord and getting to know him. You know, because that's the only way. And Paul began to see others as better than himself, y'all. He did. No matter what shape, form, or fashion they were in, he saw his very nature in them. He saw who he was in those people. And had it not been for the grace of God, he would be those people. I would be these people. I would be that one I am judging, that one I think bad of, that one I can see every way they're messing up, that one who's so angry, who gets so offended. That is me. I see me in these people. I see me in these people. And I know that the Lord wants me to have mercy on them. What if it was still me? What if it was still me? What I want the Lord to have mercy. Somebody show me some mercy. Somebody show me some love, because they're already condemned. Somebody reach out and help me. I don't want to be this way. I'm tricked. I'm deceived. Y'all, I would have never all my life railed against the Lord or ignored him or never talked to him had I known how good he is. I wouldn't have done that. I didn't know. I was ignorant of the Lord and everything about him. And I'm still so ignorant of the Lord. There's still so much more to find out. And I only have a few more days, really. Y'all think about it. We only got a few more days. The older you get, aren't they just flying by? My kids are growing up like a weed. They're about out of the house. You know, we don't know what tomorrow holds. Isn't it time to become serious about this? Isn't it time, you know, to just be honest before the Lord and be sincere about who we are, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because he accepts us. He knows we can't do it. He has all power to change. There's so much more he wants to show us. Isn't it? I mean, there's so much more he has to teach us. If we know everything we need to know about the Lord, how little he is. If we already know, and we've done got it figured out, and we've done reached perfection, if this is perfect, I don't want nothing to do with it. I am striving for the day I can stand face to face with him and be blameless and innocent and not hurt anybody anymore. That's what I want, more and more. I don't want to hurt anybody. And I ain't reached it. But one day we will, won't we? Ain't that the way we're going to be? No, nothing to feel regret over. Nothing to feel guilty about. No more tormenting pain of our past. No more disappointment in how we are right now. It's going to be worth it. Y'all, I am so sorry. I do not know what in the world I just said. I think I'm crazy. I mean, honestly, I am so sorry. I guess I was just, that's what I would be sitting here saying to the Lord if y'all weren't here. That's what I would be sitting here saying, you know. I just want people to know. I want to make sure that nobody thinks I'm anything or that I'm nice and kind and all this stuff. You know, if you know, that's just what I want to make sure. I want to make sure somebody can relate with me, because they ain't going to want to stick with me if they can't. If they think I'm so big and bad and good, they can't relate with me. I want to share what's relatable. I want to share my human nature. I want to share what's real in my life. But as much as all that is real, y'all, as much as I find myself still in the flesh, as much as that is real, how much more real is he? How much more real is he? Truly, he does have all power. Truly, he does know all things. Truly, his love covers my sin. Truly, his forgiveness is like a mighty ocean wave washing over me, not just forgiving the sin, but forgiving the guilt of it. Truly, when I am so alone, he is so real to me and present. And if I can just, Lord, let me be aware of your presence, I don't need anybody else. If I can just know you're with me, if I can just know that I didn't mess up so big and bad and you've ran away from me like everybody else in my life. Oh God, you're so good. He is so good. What he has endured from me alone, what he has endured from me alone is unreal. All right, I'm gonna stop crying. I'm so sorry. I ain't even read y'all's comments. I'm sorry. Thank you. I've just never known anybody like him. He's too good to be true. I mean, but he is true. He's too good to be true. You know, when you're younger, especially as a little girl, you dream about your Prince Charming. I never did. I didn't know how to dream. But y'all, he is so much more than I could have ever dreamed, that I could have ever needed or wanted. That's who he is. And to think he's so available to whomever would call upon him. And so many people are tricked to think that they can't call upon him because of who they are. No, we're calling upon you because of who you are, not because of who we are, because of you. You know, you're the one that gave us a way to you. You provided us a way to you. So why do we not go that way? Why don't we call out? You know, why do we hide ourselves? I don't know. I don't know why we do that. But y'all, thank you so much. Rachel, I'm going to have to go too, honey. I love you. All of y'all. I'm so glad y'all came. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I mean, about doing that. I had never really, that's my private entries, basically. That's how behind closed doors I am with the Lord, because so many things I still don't understand, but he's so faithful. He's so good. My God, I can't take it. And basically, when I started out, love you too, Brian. Yeah, is Haley going live now? I don't want to go over the top of her because she spent time with the Lord and he showed her something. It is so beautiful. And I want to hear more about it. So if anybody wants to go there about what the Lord showed her, it's so powerful and beautiful. I love you guys. Love you, Angie. I'm so glad you were here. I hope everything's all right with you. I know you're having such a hard time. Thank you, Troy, for coming. Everybody, I don't want to miss anybody, all right? Thank y'all for coming, and um, I'm sorry about all that and crying and shriek at everybody, but I love y'all. Please have a good day. I want to go listen to what little Haley's learned. I'm so happy for her. And I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for coming.